Welcome, Bible Tea Sippers, to the Bible Tea Podcast. It's me, Coach K, my co-host.
It's Dami Lola.
And we do have our special guest tonight from the Ethos team. We got Lily.
Yeah.
And we got Keith.
You already know what time it is.
You know what?
Literally 8 o'clock.
Game time.
We have an amazing episode for y'all today. This is technically episode 1.
Yeah,
We're
buddy.
calling it Baby Mama Drama. And it is on Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar.
Yeah.
You want
Abram Sarai.
Wait a minute.
Abram.
Abram Sarai.
Abram.
You want to give us our temperature check?
All right. So today is the temperature check. So how everybody feeling? Let's the way we got tea set up. Some people like iced tea.
Yeah.
Some people like lukewarm tea, weirdos. And then so every now and again, especially in the season, people like hot tea. So just describe how you feeling. Let's start with you, Keith. How you feeling? Hot, lukewarm, iced.
Iced. Wow. Well, I'm right now temperature. I'm definitely giving hot.
Okay, Lipton.
Definitely giving Lipton. Original.
Okay.
Lipton
What's got you feeling?
You know.
How was your week? What was so hot this week?
Well, a couple things were kind of hot this week.
If you know, you know.
And we gonna leave it right there.
A
Leave it
couple
right
things
there.
were hot. Outside of the fact that I got this husky behind sweater and pants.
Yeah,
And all
tell me
these
about
lights.
it.
All these lights, it's definitely giving temperature hot. But nah, man, but Scott's has been the greatest ever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's just literally been showing up and reproving himself again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
When I think I, won't or don't have, or he just shows up right on time.
That's
He
a
goes,
fact.
actually, I got you.
Yeah.
So, I'm ultra light beamed up.
Okay, ultralight. We on an
On
ultralight
ultralight
beam.
Mm.
We on an ultralight beam. This is a God dream. This is a God dream.
Everything.
Okay.
Oh.
Literally
Yo.
every time. All right, Lily, how you feeling?
I am feeling pretty good. You
Okay.
know, this time of year brings a lot of joy.
Right.
It also brings some sadness, you know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're here, we're breathing. I'm
Right.
grateful. I have a job.
Right.
I have a car to drive. I got a family. I got y'all.
Yeah.
You
Y'all,
know,
yeah, us, we are.
I
the
try
best
not
part.
to complain. You know, what's that song? I won't complain.
Yeah.
Little hymn, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Why are we so church?
I don't know.
Y'all
All my life.
I'm Jesus.
All my life I had.
Yeah. And Kay, how you feeling?
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling hot.
Okay.
I'm definitely feeling hot. It was just a week of obedience.
Okay.
Cause I guess I waited till there's 2 weeks left to the year
Yeah.
to kind of be obedient on some things. And then
Yeah.
once I started, it was like, oh, I should have been doing this.
Right.
So just doing that, I felt hot. I was like, okay, like nothing makes me feel better than like I know it's my purpose and like I'm doing it. So yeah, I was hot, baby.
Okay. That's lit.
How about you, Dami?
Iced.
Oh,
Iced cold.
oh,
One of my favorite coworkers is leaving me.
oh.
And the problem is she makes my life so much easier at work.
Oh.
So I'm only going to be doing 3 times, 4 times the amount of work that I already was already doing.
Wow.
And it's just a lot. So I'm giving brisk.
You
Wow.
Yeah.
Brisk.
You frozen.
Brisk.
Frozen.
Dang, Doc.
Yeah, remember as a kid, like when you put like the drink in the freezer
Yeah.
and you would cut it out and use it as a popsicle? Yeah,
Right.
that's
That's how you
definitely-
Wow, that's
Yikes.
yeah, it's one of them ones. But God is good.
Yes, he is.
All the time.
God be
All the
guiding.
time.
Damn.
Yeah, and even in that, there's some sweetness.
Okay.
See, that was a tea. Come on.
It sure was.
Get connected to it.
Well, let's get into this Bible tea. So first of all, y'all gonna help me because I'm gonna be asking the audience this, but I'm asking y'all this as well. First of all, if you're trying to get all the tea on this story, this ain't it. We are not breaking down the whole story. You should have did your homework. So let's see if you did your homework. Number one, did you watch the breakdown video on YouTube?
Yes.
I did.
Yes, Lord.
Homework done. Okay. So now you know everything behind it. Have you seen the reels on this?
Yes, I have.
Indeed.
And if you wanted just a little comedy, did you happen to see the couples therapy on this one?
That's wild.
Oh,
Yeah, did y'all
think
see
I
it?
was-
Y'all peeped
Yeah, I
that?
think y'all were in
I
it.
think
I think
was
y'all
in
was
it.
in it.
Uh-huh.
I think you
I was the cameraman. So
yeah.
I was west.
Nice.
That's true.
Angles was crazy.
Nice.
Listen, all right, just making sure y'all did that because we only going through the caption tonight for this story, and then we gonna break down exactly what the Bible tea is for the podcast. All right, so boom.
We love
I like
the pop.
that.
Right.
What had happened was Abraham was truly favored and loved by God. For his obedience, God wanted to reward him. So one day, God took Abraham outside and showed him all the stars in the sky like Mufasa did.
Right. Yeah.
God said, yo, Abraham, I will make you father of many nations. You won't be able to count all your children. Like, you can't even count these stars. Now, Abraham and his wife Sarah was old geezers at this point.
Old.
Fogies.
Wrinkly.
And Sarah was becoming very impatient, waiting on God's promise. So she says to Abraham, look, just take my Egyptian maid Hagar, sleep with her. And since she is my slave, her child will be my child. And that's how I'm going to get my baby.
1 + 1 = 3.
Yikes. It's definitely a mess.
Mathing. And Abraham was like, okay, whatever you say, wife. So Hagar gets pregnant.
Smart man.
We'll get to that. We will get to that. Yeah. So Hagar gets pregnant and basically started feeling herself. The Bible says she started despising Sarah. So she was walking around the house like she was the main chick and not the side piece. And then she started looking at Sarah all sideways.
Yeah. Blue
So
face.
Sarah said to Abraham,
Yikes. Is it giving that much?
Dang. It's about to get dark.
Wait, does that mean that Sarah's Krishan?
Wow. Oh.
I'm done.
All right, sorry, go back.
Wow. This is getting real deep.
So Sarah said to Abraham, nah, this chick in my house thinking she's somebody and it's all your fault. And Abraham punk self was like, she's your slave, do whatever you want. So Sarah got all up in Hagar's face and dealt with her harshly. Hagar was like, this is toxic. I'm out. So as Hagar was running away, an angel showed up and was like, yo, Hagar, where you coming from and where you going? She was like, anywhere but here. I got to get away from my mistress, Sarah. The angel was like, nah, boo, you need to go back and submit because God is going to bless you too. You're going to have a son named Ishmael and many descendants will come from you. So Hagar was all emotional, was like, God sees me, even when other people don't. And that's how the religions, Christianity and Islam, were born. Christianity came from the line of Isaac, which is Abraham and Sarah's son, and Islam from the line of Abraham and Hagar, all from some baby mama drama. But that's another tea.
That's another tea.
For another day.
Yeah.
Ain't no tea like Bible tea.
Okay. Giving 12 years a slave.
What?
Wait a minute now.
No. What are we doing?
Hagar running away from the slave plots and then,
We don't
coming
know
back.
what be in your mind anyway. But okay. All right. So the trending comment in all of the comments from over this, the second time we posted it, it got to 1 million views. The trending comments was, well, who's really to blame? And everybody is going in on whose fault is it? So we got a little activity here, Lily, can you help me out? We're going to pluck a name, and you're either going to defend that it's not the person's fault, or you're going to say this is definitely the person's fault. Yeah. All right? And we also did a poll on Instagram, so make sure you're following and make sure next time you do that poll when you see it, and we'll give the results when we're done.
All right.
Who that?
This should paper.
Abraham.
Cat.
Okay.
What is happening?
It actually is in all caps.
Cat. Wow. Listen. Look. Let him look. You already know what type time it is.
Capitalize.
How is it not Abraham's fault since you feel so strongly about that?
Listen. I
Because
feel
he
like
played Abraham.
I feel
Right,
like
that was his character.
Right.
I feel like he did the most responsible thing ever. He did what he was told. He did what he was told. Number one, you know how much stress he was going under at that time? Listen, God told him to go to a land. He didn't even know where he was going.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's going through all these things. He got a bad shorty
She's apparently
Bad.
Barely.
You know how much
Bad.
responsibility it takes to keep a bad shorty.
Apparently, she gets kidnapped.
You know what I'm saying? So like he's over here
twice.
stressing, like he's going through a lot, like and on top of just being being the leader and he's going place to place, he's probably got a lot of stress built up, a lot of stress built up, and so when the opportunity presented itself, he was like, "Yo, you tripping anyway? I don't want to hear nothing you got going on, so I'm gonna just do what you said." And so there you go.
So he has no blame.
no blame.
So
he's a punk a little bit.
the word came up, leader.
I was 2 times. Baby.
Leader.
I mean, that's cool and all. I mean, sometimes leader has to be a team player.
And a follower sometimes. Sometimes the best leaders are followers.
Come on, Doc. You better let them
how
use
they
you.
Do
do
y'all
Yeah.
hear the
That's
foolishness?
true. I
hot
don't know what
mess.
to tell you. It's true.
If you are the head of your house,
Okay,
Uh-huh.
then. The head and
you're
not the tail.
leading
Uh-huh.
the house.
I've been leading all this time. You're the reason.
So-
I'm the reason why we got a house.
So
No, she's the reason why you got a house. Because after she got kidnapped, you got rewarded. Not you, but Abraham. I forgot you're not in character right now.
my God,
But
we
Method
should
acting, method acting. Will Smith at the
Abraham
Oscars.
got all the riches
because of who?
because of his wife Sarah. He,
But if I had not let it happen, we would have never been in this position to begin with. So
You had
therefore,
no
you're
It
welcome.
was his idea.
you were sitting there
idea.
lying.
You're welcome.
It wasn't a lie. Let's throw
Okay,
that out
technically
there.
Yeah,
it
he
wasn't
did
a lie.
not lie.
Wasn't a lie
Sarah is
because
definitely,
Sarah
was definitely
is his sister.
Uh-huh.
Okay, his half sister
Okay.
on his dad's side. Okay. Shout out to Tara.
Yeah.
That's how you say it. Tara.
Tarak. I think his
something
daddy
like
name
that,
was
yeah.
Tesseract? What? Oh.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
out to
You're
Tesseract.
leading the household.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Why is it not your fault?
Good counsel. Yeah, you have to. Whenever you're in a marriage, you're supposed to talk and come to an agreement.
There was no communication. It was sleep with her, and
Okay.
you said, "Okay."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing when she started acting up. Well, that's your slave. Go ahead, you deal with it. Why isn't it the head of the household, the husband, making the decision? Why are
God
you
didn't
putting it
tell
off
me
on her?
how. Well, actually, he did.
Oh,
And this is my thing. And then God gave you the promise.
Yeah,
He gave
yeah.
you
He
the
typically said it
promise.
too.
So why are you letting Sarah be the one to tell you what to do? Why are you not putting
Yeah,
your foot
Abraham.
down?
Yikes!
All right, so here's the deal. This is what you guys are missing. You're missing this whole. I don't know how we're not seeing this right now.
Open our eyes.
I've got nothing.
Cause you can't see nothing
Let's
either.
pick another name.
Next.
I'm crying.
I've got nothing.
I got nothing.
The Lord didn't give it to me yet. Still waiting on Him.
Sarah.
It's her fault.
Yeah, no, it's definitely her fault. I think we can all agree that it's her
Yeah, it's definitely her fault.
I blame
That's-
so much on this child.
fault. Yeah.
I blame so much on her because I just feel like if not waiting on God was a person, it's definitely Sarah. And I think the thing that pissed me off the most is like, you got kidnapped. You understand what it is to have your body being used for whatever the person wants to use. And then you have your slave Hagar and you just treat her how
same
you
way.
were just treated, the exact same way.
Trash.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now I will say, if I was playing, best defended on the planet, I would say that at that time in Mesopotamia, one of the customs was that if a wife could not get pregnant, she would give her slave to her husband to have a kid. And so the actual process that occurred, that idea was not just of hers. It was a thing of the time. Now, that being said, she was told directly by the Lord that she was going to have a kid
True.
and it was going to be, through that bloodline and everything like that. So, that's a whole other thing entirely.
She still moved the chess pieces herself in
Exactly.
order to do it.
Exactly. And lost.
And I completely understand it being of the time, but then I kind of feel like was part of that then kicking out the baby mom and the child because you wanted this child so much, but then you was perfectly fine once you got your child to be like, you know what, that's actually your child and not mine.
I think what honestly happened is that she thought that the child was going to be hers, and when it wasn't, because she couldn't do any of the motherly things for the child, she didn't birth
Hagar
it,
was
so she
still in the
couldn't.
picture.
Exactly, she couldn't feed it and everything like that. So it was like okay, I thought this was going to look one way. It's not looking anything like that. The baby's attached to the mother. Every time I hold it, it's crying. Like, this is not what I signed up for, even though this is exactly what you signed up for. But, you know, yeah.
Definitely blaming Sarah. And I just feel like, I mean, the last name is Hagar. And I just don't fault her in the situation. Now, I do understand that she started feeling herself. But when reading it, it's like she despised Sarah. We're talking about the first time she got kicked out because it was a couple of times. But is the despise, oh, I think I'm really feeling myself? Or is that despise, I'm a slave, you made me sleep with this geezer man, and now I'm pregnant?
Could have been a mix of both.
Yeah, I think it was
Because
both.
two things can be true.
Because nasty geese are ill.
You know,
Man was old, okay?
They was
but clearly, well, I mean,
He was like 90-something.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, it's not given.
clearly he was still a G.
You know what?
What? That's what we call it? Yeah, because he was
Clearly.
big crimping.
Definitely
He was
big
somebody's
crimping.
sugar.
He for geezer.
He was
She
a
didn't
sugar
know-
daddy for sure.
She know she ain't know her role.
Wait a minute.
Didn't know
Okay.
Let the world know that I'm not on his side, okay?
She didn't know the role.
What role?
She's the side chick.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
She's the side chick. You didn't know. You thought you were going to be the number. Like it never works. Pans out that way. Never works that way.
That's a fact.
From the clip. Well, this was the beginning of
Of
time.
time,
So
yeah.
therefore, like
Beginning
it's
of time.
never worked out for you.
The year of our Lord.
You know, it's clearly, yes,
Literally.
exactly, literally. Okay, it never worked out for you at all. And so let this be a lesson to all the side chicks.
Side chicks out there. You
Out
will
there.
get kicked out in the desert. with
Yeah,
nothing
right.
to
Listen,
drink.
don't end up in the desert.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, if that's the role you would have played, then play the role.
With your kid and minimal child support.
Minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
There was some, a little bit.
Yeah.
And a couple promises, you know, that worked out too. But
I got the results from the poll.
Oh, God.
Right now it says Abraham 40% at fault, Sarah 42% at fault, and Hagar 19%.
right. I mean, I
So
could
so we
concur with
leaning
that.
on we leaning on Sarah.
yeah.
I think this is a great.
Oh, really?
segue.
So wait, this Sarah's winning. That's her
Yeah,
fault.
is that it's her fault?
Wow.
But you ain't too far behind. Just saying.
Yo,
He
that's
said,
wild.
wow. Even I was confused. I was like,
Man.
are you really surprised?
Yeah, like wait a minute. This is wow.
Really?
Yeah, way to go. For once, it's not our fault, guys. We're
Two
winning.
times.
Oh, and then I had the nerve to take my thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, get your own.
Wow.
All right, 3 times.
Y'all are crazy.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
And then, as always, what we want to do on the Bible Tea podcast is then how does this now connect to modern culture? And like this literally is the first example that we have of technically baby mama drama.
Right.
So then my question becomes, what causes baby mama drama? Like, what is that underlining reason? How does it affect the man? How does it affect the woman? How does it affect the children?
Yeah.
And what can we learn from this story?
I think part of it is that
Are you going with the cause, the reason?
Yeah. So I think, I mean, in order to, one, like, have a kid, or even just lay with someone, first of all, sometimes there's feelings, sometimes they're not, fine. But then to then go through that decision to say, like, I want to have this person's child. I don't have any kids of myself, like, with my own. That I know of, and
like that sometimes?
I've got some. I send you on the court often. I send you on
What
the
is happening?
You never have done that.
No, I send you on the court sometimes. I have
Ever.
some, some theoretical children out there, but I think,
Yikes.
but I think what happens is like to make that decision to actually have someone's child or
Yeah.
whatever. Like there has to be some kind of feeling or expectation of what that's going to be like, and I don't think anybody ever has an idea that there's going to be someone else in the picture after that.
No.
So for that to completely change what you have pictured as like your future or however you imagine things would go, I think that in and of itself creates some anger within you. If it might be within yourself saying like, why did I not make a better decision? It could be with the other person. It could be, just about the situation as a whole,
I'm a piggyback on that because I think it really is that. Now, first of all, underlying any type of drama is going to be childhood trauma, family dynamics, all kind of different stuff. We're going to take that part out and just like, okay, what you just said, I would call it the narrative. It is the fantasy of it versus the reality of it. Like being pregnant, there is nothing more beautiful than you're pregnant and your man is rubbing on your belly. You can't help but fantasize about what that future looks like. And then to have that ripped from you is very hard to grieve that whole desire and fantasy that you had with that person. And then breakups are messy. And then people get stuck in breakup mode. Like you're going to be petty. You're going to be angry. And I had many conversations preparing for this from some of my friends, guys and girls. How does it affect the guy? How does it affect the girl? How does it affect the child? And the main thing was the children get affected because they never center the child. The child is never at the center. It starts to become everybody else's feelings.
Right.
And trying to get back in pettiness and all these things involved.
Yeah, I concur all of that. I think that even as like men, well, first of all, it's Abraham's fault.
Wow.
Thank you.
Finally got there.
It's Abraham's fault.
We got you.
And it goes back to also like when you say that it's what narrative I think also is the man
Giving.
giving.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't think that it's definitely not fair to as a man to know that we're not going to be together, but you continually show all the actions
That you will be.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all. Can you say smash?
Yeah. Smash the like button. Smash
Hey,
the
yo.
like button all
Like
night
it,
long. That's
smash it.
terrible.
I
Yeah.
can't say smash and subscribe. That's weird. Don't do that.
Smash and subscribe is hilarious. Wow, is that what we're calling it from now on? Smashing and subscribing?
Wow.
Well, they don't subscribe. They smash. But
Yeah,
they don't
smash and subscribe. Yeah, no subscription.
Or share.
Yeah.
Right. Yo, this is not going the way that I thought it was going to go. No, abort. No. No, okay, let's start over.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's like you can't be, say that it's going to be one thing, but you guys continue to have like sex and exchanging that emotional connection, to that. So I think that's definitely something that as men, as challenging as it might be to say no,
Right.
Especially when she's beautiful in a lot of different ways. It's we have to pretty much stand on business and be like, nah, this is about the child, because once you continue to do that, and it from the foundation from the beginning, it's no longer about the child, it's about y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you cross that line of like, this is what we gonna do to think that we're gonna keep this relationship going, it's really not. Nah, it's about y'all now. So I think it's definitely important. We got to be stronger. We got to do better. And listen louder to where we know that God is calling us and how we're supposed to lead the family, even when we're not married.
Right.
Yeah, even when we don't have the family structure that God first intended.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that you said that, because leading one is part of that, but also boundaries aren't set. I don't know if it's like an underlining thing, but something that was common in the conversations that I had for a while, it was like access. Like my baby dad, my baby mom is the bed I can go lay in. And then once that boundary gets set,
I guess.
Completely calm down.
once that boundary gets set and like people actually stand on it, then then you move on and someone else comes into the picture, and then it's just like, it's so much contention there.
That's another level.
Because also I think one of my really good girlfriends was like, communication then becomes something major in part of this drama, because then people start using the children as a walkie-talkie is what she said. And that was like, like trying to communicate through the children, and then also the Sarahs in the situation trying to address the Hagars when it really should be the Abraham.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a word right there.
That was a deep one. And I think, and part of me is, it's tricky because, so then what do you do in a situation where the Hagar is making your life hell? You know, to like, because in theory it really should come. It shouldn't come from Ishmael, right? Like I shouldn't be telling Ishmael go blah blah blah. But every time I try to have a conversation with Hagar, it's like, oh, but I'm just blah blah blah. Or you out here doing da da da. Like what was I to you? Blah blah blah.
It's the hands for the
Right?
Come on, man. Like
Thanksgiving, that's what it was. Yeah, that was what's going on.
all of that. So
I really don't know. That's when the bitterness and pettiness come in. And please understand, it is not just baby mamas, although we're calling it baby mama drama. It's baby daddies too that do the petty.
We be
and
playing.
Yikes.
What is happening over there? Yo.
where you at?
Come on,
Yo.
TikTok.
For real, y'all really do.
Yeah, we be playing.
And it's a lot of drama that gets tied up into that. But I really don't. When that Hagar is causing all of this discord in your family, then again, boundaries need to be set.
Right.
Boundaries need to be set, and the child needs to be centered.
Yeah.
But that often doesn't end up happening. Or something amazing that I heard someone else say was, when I was experiencing, I was just really young, but when I had my own personal growth, I understood things better and I became a better co-parent.
That's lit.
And maybe it has to be like that individual personal growth
Yeah.
to go to it. What you got? I saw a light
When
bulb.
you
Yeah, I
say
see the lights.
individual growth from who? I'm sorry. Bring that.
Everyone involved. The baby mom, the baby dad, the wife.
Okay.
And the kid that's growing.
Agreed.
Did you want to add something?
No, I was just gonna say, because you touched on the communication part of everything, but I think that's the big picture of it all. I may communicate with you saying this, that, and the third, and then the baby dad or baby mom may not take that because we've been through all of this.
Yeah.
Right.
You've done all of this to me. I'm still hurt by all of this.
Right.
So why should I, or what is making me want to not cause the chaos? Because you caused so much chaos for
Me.
Yeah.
So here go my revenge.
Yeah.
Everybody
Here's
just
what
needs to
I'm
go
talking
in their Bible and read and learn about forgiveness.
My
Yeah.
God.
That's a politically correct.
And that's the process, right?
Yeah,
Maybe that's the
yeah.
personal growth
Yeah.
there, that we know that hurt people and that you have to be able to forgive and hold people accountable, but it doesn't necessarily that they will always like be brought to justice for it.
Yeah.
You can say exactly what happened. This is what you did to me, but how long are you going to live in that hurt? Like, at some point, the blame is what someone did to you, but at another part, your healing not happening, that's your fault.
Yeah. That's where you come and play a part in the miracle. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You know, it's great. Like I love, I mean, when we say communication and we say boundaries, I think it's very interesting. And let me know what you guys think about this is, here's my thoughts. Like I think that we can communicate all day. We can communicate all day. But if there's no boundaries set, the communication means nothing. Because as a man, now this is not an excuse, but I'm saying like as a man, especially if I'm for myself, you know what I'm saying? If there are no boundaries set, I'm going to go as far as
You allow.
you live.
Allow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you allow me to keep
Smashing
and
not
playing you.
subscribing.
Smashing the like.
let's get subscribing. Okay. You know, like what are we doing? You know, I'm thinking for real, like I'm thinking that, you know, that you're down for the cause. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking we're in this together. Like we just happen to have a kid together, and we're just going to continue to do this. But we know that it will never. It's like it's oxymoronic.
Yeah.
But I think that also, you know, it's going to take also a woman's no to
And
be
standing on the no.
standing on the no.
Standing on business.
Standing
You know
on
what I'm
business.
saying? Yeah.
Like, you could set boundaries all that you want, but when you don't stand on the boundaries,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. It's over.
you could keep saying, no, we ain't doing that.
Yeah,
And then
Next
right.
thing you know,
you open the door in a trench coat.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's wild.
Going in circles. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like that.
not a sheepskin trench coat.
Yikes.
Real supple on the skin. Super supple. Okay.
Abraham, are you right?
Yeah.
I can't.
What?
The last question was, and what can we learn from this story? Life lesson.
I think there's a bunch. So I think first and foremost, it is that when God, you can't rush God. Let's put it. Yeah, I think, and I think that's the big. If any pastor ever preaches this, I think that's the big one that they'll harp on, right? And like trust God.
Yeah.
Because it's funny in preparing for this today, in reading the stories over again, you really like you're almost like, didn't I just read like this part again?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
didn't
right,
Like
yeah.
didn't he like he promised you from like the beginning of chapter 12.
Yeah,
He
right.
gave you the promise.
Yeah.
Then he doubles down on it later. Then Jesus makes one of them 90s like appearances where he just comes in. He's like, the crowd is clapping, and Jesus comes in and has that conversation. Basically, triples down and says, "I'm going to give you a kid." That's where Sarah laughs in the
Sarah
back,
laughs.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
background, right? And it's like, how many times does God have to tell you, "I got you," for you to
Yeah.
believe? Oh wait, he actually
tough.
got me, right?
That's tough.
And so I think that if I'm taking that personally, like for every promise that I feel that God has told me or I've heard, like it's not my place to make it work for him. It's my place to do my work that he assigned to me, right? It's not my place to make it work because God already said it's done. It's just my only plan at that point is just to be in alignment with his will for me and for in alignment with his promise for me. So I think that's like the overarching thing.
Don't rush God.
Yeah, don't rush God.
Trust in his timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust and obey. Because there's no other way.
Oh,
be happy.
okay.
In
Hallelujah.
Jesus.
In Jesus.
I know.
And obey.
Going
Can I get
crazy,
an organ?
Doc.
I think for me, for sure, wait well.
Yeah. Love
Wait
that.
well.
That's good. Yeah.
My bestie Hannah she gave me this journal, and it said marinate in the wait. And I took that and like ran with it for this year.
That's a word.
Like, because if any good cook knows, when you season a chicken and then you just go right ahead and fry it right away, it's good.
Yeah.
But there's something about that marinating
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah.
When the seasonings get all up
Going
in the
crazy.
meat and stuff. Pause.
Yeah.
But, right? Like,
Oh my God.
I didn't want to say it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. I was trying not to be childish, but you open the door. It's over.
yo, I
Let your meat
cannot.
marinate, friend.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But there's something about that marination in it, and I don't think we wait well.
Yeah.
We don't wait well. We can hear what God said to us as time going by, and it's taking too long.
Yeah.
It's taking too long, and we don't wait well. We start to move the chess pieces ourselves. I should say checker pieces, because I always feel like God can see the game plan, like it's chess, and we just over here playing checkers. Like
Yeah.
we have no idea
One move.
what's really happening.
playing
We just
games.
jumping.
Yeah.
We just jump over to the corner over
Yeah.
here because nobody can
plan.
jump you.
Yeah.
There's no plan
Can't nobody-
whatsoever. But there's something about like marinating in it and waiting really, really well. I constantly think of, when I say wait well, I think of David. Like he was told he was going to be king from a young boy.
Right.
He was real young. And what did he do? He went back in the field. Like, and he was playing I say guitar. I know it's a lyre or whatever it was.
Yeah,
He
it's
was playing the guitar.
Yeah.
And he was maybe at the time didn't know that he was practicing his craft that was going to get him in the
Wow.
palace. But he at least went back and he's waiting. And I constantly think of that. Like, how are you waiting?
Yeah.
Are you waiting well? Are you marinating in the wait?
Nah, sorry to cut you off if I cut you off, but you just touched something crazy, because what you're saying is that there is a purpose for the marination. There's
Yeah.
a purpose for the wait, right? If you do that chicken as soon as it's seasoned, it's not going to be the perfect form that you wanted it to be, right? So in marinating well, it's understanding the purpose for the marination. It is God preparing you for whatever he has for you.
That part.
And so I think that's the the bigger picture, because even if you look at everything that happened to Abraham from the beginning to the end, he was able to. I mean, who asked him to tell everybody that Sarah was his sister? Who knows? But but somehow, even through that process, he was blessed.
Yeah.
How do you tell a half truth and God says, "I'm gonna use that way to bless you"?
Because that's what he be doing with us.
That's crazy. Like you
He did
didn't
it
do
twice.
like
He did it twice,
One
bruh.
in Egypt and one with Abimelech.
and
Yeah,
it just
okay,
better say
Bible
Abimelech.
scholar,
Abimelech.
pronouncing
And let's
things
shout
nice.
let's shout out Hagar for being black.
Because she was Egyptian.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Even though she was the least one to blame, so double clap.
Okay, thank you.
Black women for the win.
Yeah.
Love that.
I love my sisters.
Always.
But yeah, no, and I love everybody else too. I love you, all of you guys too.
Never the two.
Yeah, right.
Yo.
What is happening?
But I really just think that it's so important to understand that his process was his process because it prepared him to be the father of many nations.
Yeah.
Like that is the crux to it, right? So
That's great. That.
yeah, man.
Yeah. This analogy, about marinating. I think that like we sometimes miss that if we're we look at like food being marinated, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually being marinated and seasoned so other people can enjoy
it. Oh, you better preach.
You know what I'm saying?
Reverend.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Reverend.
Pastor.
No, but that's what sucks, and that's what we miss because we're so tied into like the rush because we think that we're behind. We're always focused on who's going to do it first, but we're missing the quality. We're missing like it's wild to think about how many times that I may have rushed the process, and other people have gotten. Chili when they should have gotten steak 48. You know what I'm saying?
Not the diss on the chili.
I mean, look, Chili's, Applebee's, the 5 for $5. They got the
5 for $5. Wendy's.
That's Wendy's. They got a nice
5
little
for 5
selection.
at Chili's is crazy.
Yeah, but they got a nice
We
little
understand.
appetizer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like it's 3 for $20.
Yeah, something
Yes,
along those
I
lines.
understand.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's not steak 48.
It's not steak 48. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes me wonder, like you said, like how are you waiting? And are we waiting well? And even in our waiting, understand and come with the idea and the perspective that I'm just being marinated properly.
Yeah.
So that I can be presented properly.
Right.
We miss present ourselves because we shortchange it. So we be playing ourselves the whole time. So I'm here for the wait a little bit. I mean, God, please, I give timeline. You can give me signs, send me dreams that is still on the way.
Right.
That part, it be
Yeah.
silent.
Silence.
Sometimes.
It don't be feeling like, am I supposed to do something? Because I get it. It's a real wrestle and challenge to when we think about it. But that comes with. How strong is your relationship with God really?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's as tight as you think it is, then you'll never have a problem waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's one of the cool things when I'm now thinking back on the story, and I didn't think about this until just now, but you never hear a part of this situation where Abraham is like, God, why? Like, God, why haven't you done it yet? Like, obviously, some of his actions kind of show that, but it's never really directly him. And even then, I think in one of the verses towards the end of that story, probably chapter 17, like, it says that he was faithful, so he was blessed. Like, it says something along those lines. And so I think the idea is, like, even and I guess this even goes back to, like, episode 0, but even when God hasn't done what he's promised you yet, can you still see the bigger picture that he's still faithful? Like, you're still going to be faithful to him. You're still going to do everything that he has asked you to do, including circumcising yourself.
Yo,
That's
in order to get it.
Thank God I'm a woman.
Thank you, Jesus. 2 times.
Hallelujah.
Salvation and glory.
Wow.
Yeah. Man did it at like 80 something.
Yeah, and then made everyone with him do it.
Nah, come. And then it said,
That's
if you don't cut that off, I'm cutting you off. That's
Oh, Oh.
Enough.
That song
Enough.
Oh.
has never.
But listen, but you know what? There's a word in that. Okay, temporary pain for eternity. Like
Okay.
that. You know,
I like it.
You know,
How temporary is temporary?
yeah, right.
Yeah, but would you do it?
Listen, I mean, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like you're gonna have to put me under.
They ain't had that
They
back
ain't had that
then.
back
You
then.
Anesthesia.
ain't getting.
And they was
Yeah.
using a knife.
They're like, hey, what's that? Rock.
probably
Yeah,
had,
right. Oh,
it probably had rust on the knife. Too.
listen, yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, not the rust on it.
He called it real late.
Yo, not the butter.
Hey,
Not the butter
yo.
knife.
Yo, please.
Lord, have mercy.
Any lesson for you?
You know, I took a piece from
That was
the
wild.
story. And it,
That was wild.
I took a piece right after we talked
Yeah,
about
right after you
something.
talk about
That's
take a
crazy.
peek. That's
I
wild.
can't stand y'all.
bring it back. Come on,
Yeah,
bring it back.
yeah,
Bring
yeah.
it back.
Get
Bring
it
it back.
together. It's like this every time.
Every time.
And it's 9 of us,
Yeah,
bruh.
9
Like,
of
it's
us.
too
Yeah,
much.
This is low. Yeah,
We get
low,
nothing
low
done.
vibration.
Nothing
Yeah.
done. Chop.
Go ahead.
Yo.
Just let's stop the commentary.
continue,
Thank you,
okay.
Lily. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
The piece of the story that always sticks out to me, y'all did the whole broad spectrum of the whole story. The piece that sticks out is Hagar when she left the first time. And I guess the angel or God came to her and basically said, like, I see you, like you're seen.
Yeah.
And I feel like we all go through those moments where maybe we don't feel like we're seen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And it's just a reminder, like, despite what everybody else may be doing out in the world and they don't notice you, it's the one important person who does.
Oh, that's good.
And that's the part that stood out to me.
Yeah.
Because we all have to remember that even though, you know, we may not be where we want to be at a certain time, or I had this goal set for myself and this is not where I want to be, stuff like that. Just remember that God sees you, He hears you, and the promises will come when it's His time
Yes, sir.
again.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to pick up on that because when I read, I think, I know Ishmael means God hears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she got kicked out the second time for good,
Yeah.
did he give her like bread and
Bread
water?
and water and said, get on the
Bread
out of
and
here.
water.
Come on, man.
Like, so that's
all you really need.
disrespectful. So
He said, "Give us this day our daily bread." He didn't say anything else.
Enough. Anyway.
So she's out in the desert, the bread gone, the water gone. And like she literally put Ishmael away from her because she didn't want to see him die.
Yeah.
And he starts crying, and the Bible says like when the angel appeared, he's like, God heard your cries.
Right.
And his name means God hears.
Yeah.
And I think I saw something else connected with God sees because the first time that she got kicked out, she was by a fountain. Am I saying this right?
Oh, well.
She was by a well.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. And then the second time, she didn't even see it. Like they made it appear for her. It was like God sees you and gives provision. Even in your pain. And I think that people completely like skip over that. You're right. Like Hagar has a very important part in the story and a life lesson for us. God sees you, He hears you, and He will provide for you in your darkest time when you are prepared to die. When you're prepared to die, like all hope is lost.
So I
He
walk
sees
through
and
the
hears.
valley of
The
shadow.
shadow of
It's
death.
only a shadow, though.
Yes, sir.
And you got to go through
Yes, sir.
that.
Gotta go
You
through,
just
Doc.
got to get to the other side.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
We too churchy. It's too much.
D-Line, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Listen, thank you.
And thank y'all for sipping with us.
Child, it was the time.
It's always the time.
It's always a time.
Listen,
And until next time,
that part.
keep sipping with
Oh,
me.
wait. Hold on. Time out. Our
wait.
handshake.
Oh, I'm going to
Don't
mess
forget.
it up.
Come on, you don't-
Wait,
don't
'cause you
ruin it.
said next time. Okay.
All right. Come on. You ready?
Focus.
I messed up already.
Oh, that's hard.
Like that.
With
Yeah.
the pinky up.
Yeah.
Keep sipping with us.
Yeah.
Pinky's still broken.
That's wow. That's wild.